Oops. I just pulled my webcam down. Does it still work? Just a second. Yeah, it still works. What up? Just want solo self found? Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, offline modes are dead. Diablo V can be run offline as console. Yeah, but consoles can't be modded and modified as easily as PCs can, so it makes sense.
So, ladders and things in competitive systems, is there going to be a, like, any sort of, like, you said with keystones, like, for example, is there going to be, like, a leaderboard in game that we can access to see who has the highest, like, you know, keystone clear, or...
Yeah, we like leaderboards when they're meaningful to...
Yeah.
And the case where they tend to be most meaningful is when there's a fairly small group of people who are competing for that thing.
Yeah.
We find if you look at Diablo 3 leaderboards,
yeah,
there are, you know, 100 or maybe 500 people who care about that.
Yeah, that's me.
And
like 10 at the top end, bro. Like,
sure, and there are people who are 40,000.
Yeah.
And the leaderboard isn't super useful to them.
Yeah.
So the way that we, to the extent, we're still figuring it out, but the way that we want to approach leaderboards is to focus on specific aspects where they can be really meaningful, and less on like who's the
PvP?
top ever person out of, you know, people.
So you're saying most meaningful? Does that mean what does that mean? So
it means that there'll be for sort of specific activities or challenges.
Okay.
So, it won't be like I said, we have a long way to go.
Okay.
But if you look at some of the leaderboards in Diablo 3, we had the seasonal conquests where you were doing something more specific. So more in that direction, but it's pretty early to say, really.
Okay.
I think that like making leaderboards more relevant for people is obviously a good thing. I can't see how anybody would consider that a bad thing. But at the same time, I'm not really like, oh my God, wow, this is so crazy and cool. I mean, really, it's a long, I can't really see how that's going to make the game better in a way. But if they can get people to, I guess, motivate themselves by getting into that type of leaderboard, yeah, that'd be cool. I just don't see how you can motivate a casual player to care about leaderboards. I think that's like a challenge for them.
Trading. So you said there was going to be trading.
Okay.
In the announcement and everything.
Yes.
So is it like, do you have soulbound? Is it just people who are in your group when an item drops? Like, you know, can you just trade things? Can I equip an item and then trade it to some other guy after I've finished using it? Is it going to be an auction house?
There will not be an auction house.
Oh.
The way that so we haven't settled on a specific trading system yet.
Okay.
We have a philosophy for how trading will work, and the idea is that when you get the predominant source of getting items in Diablo 4 should be from killing monsters.
That's true.
It's the same philosophy that was the reasoning that we removed the auction house in Diablo 3. However, we want to integrate trading more closely into Diablo 4. So we're exploring several different possible systems to do that. And the one that we are currently leaning toward, and we would like your feedback on how you guys feel about trading, is one where there would be three types of items.
Okay.
A type of items that are tradable all the time.
Okay.
With no restrictions.
So would that be, what kind of example items would that be?
Consumables, crafting mats, certain items, a certain armor, perhaps. There'd also be items that can be traded once and then become bound.
Oh, that's spicy.
And then some set of items that can never be traded. They're bound when you.
So like some sort of legendary thing, or
possibly
like ultimate.
Likely the most powerful items, but would be bound on pickup. But the line of where that is, in terms of just having those three categories, we have a lot of flexibility in terms of like, well, how many items does that mean that are bound on pickup, right? Like, is it 2 items? Is it 100, 500 items? Like, where is that line? So we have a lot of balancing within that system, but that may not be the system we go with.
That's really interesting, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to waste time. We've got very limited time.
Okay, so I guess items that can only be traded once, they're trying to do away with commodities markets with like Stone of Jordan and Diablo 2. I think that like also, like my understanding is Stones of Jordan are basically used as currency in Diablo 2 in some sort of a way. And I don't know really if that's a good idea. Personally, I'm not really a big fan of them trying to limit trading at all. I think that they should just allow people to trade gear pretty much wholesale and do that. I do think, however, that there should be items, like if there's like a boss, like the equivalent of what Shaper is in Path of Exile. If there's a boss in, what do you call it? In Diablo 4 that's as hard as Shaper, I think maybe those items should be soulbound. And that way it makes, there's like more of an impact to somebody getting and having those items because you know that they weren't able to just buy them. Shaper's easy. Well, for an average player, he's not, right? And that's what I'm saying. And yeah, Uber Elder. Well, Shapers are. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that most of the people don't care boosting. Yeah, Uber Elder, whatever. Then you just pay for carries. There's always going to be a way that people are going to figure out to get items and figure out to trade things, real money, gold, something like that. I don't like the idea of trying to limit that kind of stuff. I think people should be able to trade shit around as much as they want, right? And there should be a few exceptions with like super high-end game gear. I think maybe that is true, and that should only be items that drop from that specific boss, not just like, a really good item that's just not tradable by the nature of it being a really good item. But it has to be a really good item, and it's not tradable because it comes from an exclusive source.
Crafting. So I play a lot of Path of Exile. And they have they have like 5 different end games for crafting, and you've got like all these different things you can do.
It's a lot.
Diablo 3, for example, is just like you need X and then you craft Y, and it's an item that's just kind of like a beginner item, and it's not got any depth to it. Are you looking into doing any sort of crafting end game, like meta crafting, anything like crazy?
Yeah, so we're definitely going to bring crafting forward into Diablo 4 and expand on it.
Good.
There will be opportunities to create items through crafting. A lot of the end game is going to be about item modification.
Oh.
And the crafting will also incorporate the world. So a big part of having a huge, seamless, connected world is going out and getting things, whether that's slaying monsters or finding something rare in some corner of the world.
Okay. So does that mean...
They had that in Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, I believe. It's like there would be certain items, like... I forgot what any of the items were called. It was so long ago. But you would need certain items that would only drop from certain bosses and rare mobs in the game, and you would use those items to craft different things. So this is already something that they did in Diablo 3, and I don't really think it turned out particularly great, but it was kind of interesting, right? Bunda's mats, Reaper wraps, there's one of those. And again, I could just look at a lot of this stuff, okay?
There won't be some sort of system where you can so you're saying you can modify items and you can go out and collect things to craft a certain item, but will there be like any sort of, thing where you can just sit there in town crafting for like 5 hours, like some random item using like materials, for example?
If you collected a lot of materials, you could craft all those materials into something.
And then sell it and then get more materials and just do like, almost...
Right, you're asking if like
if crafting could be an
crafting player.
Yeah, you could be like a crafting, because people do that, like literally just play crafting and that's it, and then that's what they do.
I think Diablo's more about slaying monsters.
Fair enough. Okay, so I can respect that.
There's certainly an element of crafting, but I don't think you would be like, I am a crafter and that's my role.
So this is kind of like, from what I've seen, it's almost borderline MMO, right? Well, online.
Yeah, that's a good question I have too.
Is it going to be seasons? Is it going to be like leagues? Or
there will be seasons, and we're going to have a lot more details to share about how those work in the future. And
I think crafting, like as an end game, might be a little bit much. And I don't know if there's really ever going to be a game that's not like a long form MMO where crafting is going to play such a large part. So yeah, I mean, I can't really say. But yeah, we'll watch the Riker Q&A after this. But first things first, I want to take a look and look at this right now, okay? So yeah, PoE. PoE is like, well, I think like PoE is much more long form than Diablo, right? I mean, I guess like it's not really by the nature of it being an MMO, but it's like it's a game with like a superly like massively like high depth system. And Path of Exile has that. And Diablo not having like a super like in-depth crafting system, for some players that's disappointing, and for some players it's not. So I can't really say.
But the timing of the bar, but yes.
Okay. Question. Oh, yo.
One thing I can say about seasons is that
So there will be seasons.
We're going to modify what the most powerful items are from season to season, so that the metagame shifts.
Oh,
they do this.
I like that.
Yeah, they do this already in
in,
D3.
like, so in terms of content patching, how are you guys going to do it? Is it going to be like every 3 months you're going to patch the game with new stuff? Is it going to be like legendaries getting pumped into the system to really mess up the meta, or is it going to be more about balancing? Or
yeah, so
that'd be awesome.
The system that I talked about, where we adjust where we add mechanics to adjust the metagame from season to season, we'll handle part of that. But we're also going to be releasing content, especially through expansions.
Expansions? Oh wow, that's huge. Okay. A question that everyone's been asking and spamming me.
Expansions. I mean, where is it? Just a minute. Let me see it. Give me a second. I've got to figure this out. I'm gonna pause this real quick. There's something I wanted to look at.
For years, the only place to get a delicious and mouth-watering Krabby Patty, until today, that is. That's right, folks. Longtime owner Mr. Krabs is opening a new restaurant called the Krusty Krab 2. First of all, congratulations.
Can you guys hear it?
Krabs.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
What the fuck? I picked the wrong one. What the fuck was that? This is a meme I saw on Twitter. I thought I liked the picture, and it's not fucking there. Yeah, I thought I liked the picture. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to find it. I apologize. I thought I liked it. I don't know where the hell it was at. Can somebody at me on Twitter and just link me that same picture? Let me see. Overwatch. Where the fuck is this? Overwatch 2. Yeah, Nix, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Here it is. Okay, yeah, here's the... Alright. Whenever they are talking about expansions, without the game being released, this is what I think of.
Krabs is opening a new restaurant called the Krusty Krab 2. First of all, congratulations, Mr. Krabs.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money.
Krabs is opening a new restaurant called the Krusty Krab 2. First of all, congratulations, Mr. Krabs.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money.
Krabs is opening a new restaurant called...
There it is, dude. I mean, I do not find a lot of solace in a game that doesn't even have a release date planning for expansions. Like, I don't find a lot of confidence. I think confidence is a better word. I don't... The confidence that I have in that is very, very low. And I don't like the idea of spacing things out. And, like, I get the idea, like, yeah, they have a 5-year plan of it, and, you know, it makes sense, like, whatever. But whenever I just hear that, there's nothing wrong with that. It is whenever they're already planning on gating certain types of content behind that. I think that is an issue. And this early in development, I think that they should not really be looking at doing that. This is like my opinion, but it's worrisome.
Ask, and I'm kind of interested in this challenge tree right here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Is this like a concept, or is this like what it's going? Is this fleshed out? Like what's? Because from what I can see, there's you have 2 lines, and then I guess you have to pick between certain things. Like is this it? Is this how the talent trees are going to look on it's similar to on release?
So this is the talent and skill trees are both
talent
in areas where we want feedback from everybody. In fact, the reason that if you go to the skill tree, for example, you'll see that you can actually mouse over all the skills, and you can mouse over all the talents here. And the reason that, even though it's a demo and the skills are launched for the demo, we want to give players a look at what we're planning for these 3 classes and get feedback on it. So yes, these are the talent trees as they currently stand.
As they currently stand. So are you planning? Okay, because for me, I mean, I kind of like to be even. I mean, I get that it's one of those things where it's like an illusion. Like there eventually will be some meta build which everyone goes or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I really like having choices to make like stupid builds and weird stuff. Like, is there going to be any sort of like tributes or other things like passive trees that give you like okay, I guess kind of like this, but just way bigger.
Yeah, so it's
Are you going to do what PoE's going to do?
Add more things like that, but a lot of that kind of customization comes through legendary items.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, for example, we have legendary items. Stone of Jordan is in the demo, and we have other legendary items that increase ranks of talents or skills beyond the dollar cap.
In terms of the skills, can you... So I see it's got a number and a level.
They're copying PoE. The talent tree looks so fucking small. Yeah, I mean, doesn't change your build, it just increases the damage. No, there are different legendaries that change your build in Diablo, or at least there were whenever I played. And even if there's not, you want to say there's not, there should be. If they can do that, they should be able to do that. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things like that. Here's the thing, guys. Is that, yeah, show the PoE tree for comparison. Well, all right, I'll show you. So this is the Diablo 4 tree. And now we'll go ahead and PoE skill tree and images. Okay, there it is. Look at this and then view image. Oh, what the fuck? Why didn't that work? So this is the PoE skill tree. So this is a little, there are more of the little things on here, right? And this is what I was talking about with the game. So I was talking to Zach about this, right, a little bit last night, and he says, like, yeah, you know what, like, complexity isn't always better. Like, there are some people that see this tree, and they're like, nope, I don't want to deal with that, it's too much. And for some of those people, this tree right here is more their speed. This is what they want to do. They don't want to have a bunch of fucking, weird-ass shit with, like, a million different trees. So I think, like, and that's not... They're not wrong because of they're not like bad people because of that, etc. So I'm just gonna move this a little bit so you can see the title of the video, right? Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right, we're good. And so anyway, I think that point actually does make a lot of sense. Complexity does not equal better. Complexity does not always make something just simply better. But I do think that Path of Exile's skill tree is... this is more compelling and interesting to me, right? Because like Path of Exile has the same stuff. I'll go ahead and I'll go back to
the modification of the skill done via items.
Okay.
It's done via items. So the skills, when you level up, you acquire skill points, and you can use your skill points to unlock or increase the rank of skills, and that makes the skill more powerful and can add properties to it. You cannot respec skills, but you can acquire additional skill tomes through doing various activities in the game to give you more skill points, so that you can build out that skill tree and make the skills more and more powerful.
Okay.
This is gonna be a big one. Monetization. Is there any just sort of decision made in terms of how? So is it going to be like you just buy the game and then that's it, or is it going to be microtransactions within the game, or are you doing like
give us the real shit, Joe?
How
Let
are you
us
planning
know
to monetize it and like keep getting funding, I guess, to like keep making heaps of content?
So Diablo 4 will be available as a base game, and as I said, we're going to have expansions. You also will be able to acquire cosmetics in the game through.
So MTX. Oh wow. Is that's going to be through some sort of shop, or can?
It's very early.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
But yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
really
that's a shop.
I mean, to be honest, I really do like the whole MTX monetization scheme, because I don't know. I feel like if they make, if it's really successful, it's making lots of money, then they're going to keep making stuff for the game. It's not going to die.
Well, it's also an opportunity to have more options available than you would otherwise. I mean, build more stuff, of course.
Oh, come on. I actually agree with, no, Quinn is not shilling. Shut the fuck up. How the hell do you think they're gonna work? Like, do you know how much they pay those fucking devs over at Blizzard? They pay them slave wages because they're like, well, you should be lucky to work here. Blizzard is a great company, so you gotta work for less money. You know, fuck that, man. Like, I'm completely okay with Path of Exile selling a little bit of skins. I just wish a few of the in-game items were a little bit cooler looking, right? It's gotta be a give and take. Like, but Path of Exile is also free. It's also fucking free. The only thing that I don't like is randomized items. I am okay. Like, do you know how much money I've spent on Path of Exile? Look, I'll show you. Just a minute. It's a $500 hoodie. I don't know what I was thinking that day. A $500 hoodie. I bought the fucking supporter, whatever the fuck it was, package. This is my $500 Path of Exile hoodie. I'll put it on. It's actually really comfortable. And, yeah, Asmon the whale. No, you're right. It is the whale. They're like, oh, you could get extra points or whatever. I've spent, yeah, it was literally $500. Probably the biggest purchase that I've ever made. For anything that's not basically buying subs for my own fucking channel. So, yeah, I did that scam. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, I wanted to support the game. I had $22 in my bank account, and I spent 15 of it donating to Path of Exile so I could keep playing the beta after the open beta ended back in 2012. So, yeah, I mean, listen, making bad financial decisions for Path of Exile, this is something that I've made a history of doing, okay? How about the Death Adder mouse? Oh, the $400 Shroud mouse? Yeah, I don't use that one anymore. It's not that good. Anyway, so yeah, subs gave you the jacket. Yeah, I bought the Nemo. Yeah, right. And so anyway, I bought this Path of Exile thing right here. And I'm okay with microtransactions to an extent. But the only thing that I'm not a big fan of is whenever the microtransactions are randomized. Because I do feel like that does kind of prey on people with gambling tendencies. And I don't think they're necessary in any sort of a healthy game. But randomized microtransactions, I'm not a fan of, but any other microtransaction I'm okay with.
This is kind of a specific question, but a lot of people are asking it. Hideouts. So I don't know if you know what a hideout is in PoE, for example, or like it's like a
I love how he keeps
sort of
referencing
PoE.
PoE.
Like go there and then you can do various things and invite your mates over, do whatever,
yeah.
craft stuff. Any plans for instant play housing hideouts?
That's an interesting idea. We don't have anything to announce on that.
All right.
Oh, you've got another page.
I got another page. This page. I have infinite pages of questions, bro. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna pick my favorite questions.
Okay.
Okay. Add-ons. Like DPS meters, for example. Like like UI add-ons where you can like basically modify
that's a great
UI.
question.
Or like for example, have like
that is a great
DPS
question.
meter to check like your death logs, so you know how you died. For example.
It's important to us that you know how you died, of course. I think what often happens in games with DPS meters is you end up feeling bad about how you did.
Yeah, I know.
Because you didn't.
Or you
like,
feel good because you're the top.
sometimes.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to announce on that specifically. I think our goal would be to put everything that you need to play the game into the base game itself.
Okay. And what about customization of your interface? Like, another question, very good one. So the keybinds in the game that I had, I guess it's gone to sleep, whatever. How many skill bars? Is that the skill bars locked in? Can we like?
Okay. Damage meters. What he is saying actually does make sense. I know this might be upsetting because, you're hearing something that's not, what you're used to. But what he's saying actually does make sense. He's saying that if there are damage meters in the game, the meta basically evolves around being able to top those damage meters. And if you're not doing that, then you're fucking useless. That actually is true. Regardless of, if you think that's the way the game is working or not, that actually is true. That being said, I still want damage meters. I want damage meters. It's the same as like in PoE. I don't like how I can't see the numbers in the game. I understand it's like a creative decision and, the game is what it is, but I don't like that. I like having more information. And this is coming from somebody like, that plays WoW, and there's like a million different tools that you can look at to see, everything about everything. So, I want to see numbers. I love seeing numbers. That's what matters. And if you don't have numbers, you have basically pseudo numbers. So it's like how much, like you have, like PoE, they have like simulators that show you how much damage you're doing. People still get to the numbers anyway. It's just they have to do it through a more contrived and separated and disconnected way. So it still happens, but it's harder to get to.
Modify the keybinds. Can we like change the left click to force move, for example? That's one really big thing, which is not in D3, and it's really.
Yes, you can modify your keybinds, and so Diablo 3 had elective mode, which was available through a checkbox in the UI
for like new players.
But in Diablo 4, we're building it from the ground up with the idea that you can modify your skills to. It's part of creating the character and the build that you want.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Cheat prevention. So in Diablo 3, there's a lot of people using like third-party stuff that like automatically uses skills. So there's Turbo HUD, like which is like some sort of map hack thing. Like and they
people do that with PoE with flasks.
Is there going to be like more emphasis on cheat prevention in D4?
Yeah, we take that very seriously, and it's a big an item of very much importance to us to make sure that the game is pure and that everyone who's playing the game has a fair experience.
Okay.
Wow, I was expecting him to say that we don't care about cheating at all and we just want our game to run rampant with people that are completely gaining unfair advantages over people that are playing the game ethically. Yeah, that's great, Joe, but like I want to see, like, if somebody asked you that about D3, I think your answer would be the exact same. The issue with this is that, like, in WoW, they do a pretty good job banning hackers. Like, to be fair, they do a pretty good job banning hackers. And in a lot of the other Blizzard games, like in Overwatch, I never ran into any hackers or cheaters either. Are they? Yeah, they do. They do a pretty good job banning them, all right? Like, let's be reasonable here and say Blizzard doesn't do everything wrong, all right? There are some things they do correctly. Overwatch, I don't know. I never ran into a hacker in Overwatch or anything like that. I mean, every game has this problem, though. In general, not in Overwatch. I mean, as I said, I never ran into one. I didn't play the game a lot, like recently, so maybe it's more common now. And Overwatch is full of cheaters. Then I'm wrong, right? I'm not gonna. That's not a hill that I'm willing to die on. But I am going to say that WoW does a great job banning cheaters. They do. They do a very, very good job at it. Whenever you compare it to any other game, they do a very good job. And you got, no, what is that really? Like, I guess, like, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I think that they do now, but not in the past. Well, I'm not talking about the past. I'm not going to judge their current cheating mechanisms based off of what happened 10 years ago. Anyway, so hopefully that's true.
I say we're almost out of time. I'm going to ask one like stupid last question. Yo, ETA, when's it coming out?
All right.
I mean, estimate. I mean, I know you guys said like PS4, right? Like, which is there's almost PS5 coming out. Which
we
that's a good
announced
point.
that it's coming out for PC and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. We don't have any other announcements in terms of
yeah. I thought that'd be the case.
Time. And if you listen to Luis at the opening ceremony, he says it's not coming soon, not even Blizzard soon. That's about as much
That's monka
as I can get. But
that is monka ass.
I will say that if you look at the world of Sanctuary, you can actually go into the game and bring up the map.
It's huge.
You can zoom
absolutely
out
massive,
and look at how much of the demo, how small the demo area is compared to the world that we're building, and it takes a long time to build all that.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely. Like, I when I zoomed out, I kind of like freaked out. Oh, I'm inside the dungeon. That's what it is. Thank you. 2 minutes. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for your time. And honestly, I was expecting you to not answer like a lot of these questions. And you just outright just no, yes, like straight to the point, which is absolutely amazing. I love that.
I'm glad about that too.
The Blizzard is being a little more upfront, I guess, and like more straight to the point instead of being super diplomatic, you know?
Well, thank you.
Obviously, Quinn couldn't ask every question. And I think that overall, I think Quinn did a really good job answering and asking the questions that people wanted to know. Let me show you guys. This is just a random video. I want to show you what the map looks like. Because I went back last night and I watched half of Quinn's VOD. And I'm trying to see, where is it where they actually show the full map? So this is one part where he's showing the map. Let's see. Yeah, but it's like, I want you guys to get an idea of the scale of the map. This is like, imagine this. Oh, here we go. Here we go, right here. Holy shit. All right, watch this.
Completely bound, and there's going to be items that are bind on equip or bind on pickup. So
watch this
they can
shit.
Never be traded. And as far as that mythic item goes, they didn't show it off, but there's...
My understanding is there's 5 of these. There's supposed to be 5 of these. What the fuck? Blizzard, take all the time you need. But please hurry up. Please hurry up. I want to see this come out very soon. I think this is like one of the things like I enjoy. One of the things I don't like about PoE is that the world does feel very segmented. You know, like you're going in from different zone to zone, and each zone is separated. So if you have a more larger open scale world, I'd like to see that a lot. And yeah, it's very segmented. PoE is going to be much better. I can't wait to see it, man. I really, like, I was on the fence about going to ExileCon. I really, really, really wanted to go. Like, if Izzy had wanted to go to vacation in New Zealand, I would have been like, fuck it, let's go. But, you know, it's just like with that and then like an 18-hour plane ride, and it's just like I wouldn't have really wanted to do that. So I'm a Riker interview. Well, we're going to watch that in a few minutes, man. But I just want to wrap this up and show you guys the map, okay?
There's going to be a new like rarity of items called
Holy
Mythic, and
fuck,
you can only
man.
have one of them, and they have 4 different special abilities.
Mythic items
on them, and essentially what the endgame is trying to be is
that map,
trying
man.
to re-roll those specific ones to get to where you want all 4 of them, if that makes any sense. So it's going to be a lot of RNG with those mythic